Hey everyone, it's Adam Helfman from Hire It Done. We recently had a great podcast appearance with Veronica Simmons from Simmons & Co. Design Build, and the feedback from homeowners were they wanted to see an actual job in progress. So Veronica was nice enough to offer us a visit here today, and we're in one of her homeowners' house who happens to be a repeat homeowner, which is amazing. And it shows the satisfaction that a homeowner has that they actually would come back and hire her for another big major project. So Veronica, let's talk about this project here today.
Absolutely.
Tell me a quick summary of the whole project.
So the project, as most projects do, kind of just unravel, right? So you start with the kitchen and then you're saying, well, if we're doing the kitchen, we might as well do the floor throughout. Well, if we're doing that and we're gonna have to move around, we might as well do the bathroom at the same time. And then, well, let's do the fireplace. So things kind of just unravel. So we're kind of spread out here. The client is still living here, but it allows us to try to get as much done at once while she can kind of stay in one area of the house. And then when we're done, she can get her life back together.
Perfect. So let's unpack what she just said, because this is an education for all homeowners who are watching. Number one, she said it evolved. The 4 dirty words of home improvement is we might as well. Started with the kitchen.
Yep.
We might as well do the fireplace. We might as well do the bathroom. We might as well do the trim.
Yep.
So right now, remember this when you're planning your home improvement project. The 4 dirty words are we might as well. That's important. Another thing, while we're doing this, I want you as the homeowner to watch this. Look for protection of the existing homeowner. She said the homeowners are living here, and that's the majority of the time in home improvement. So if you're gonna live in a project, make sure that your contractor is cognizant and aware of your lifestyle, because protection of the floors, protection of the existing environment, and controlling the dust is super important.
Yep.
So we're gonna take a look at what she's doing with the homeowner, but I want you, the homeowner, to take a look at all the little things they're doing to protect the house. Veronica, we're in this new kitchen.
Yeah.
Obviously it's not done yet. You're in the process. We're about what, 50% done?
Yeah, we're like mid-project here.
Okay, so my question to you is, tell me or give me the vision of what this homeowner's kitchen looked like before you started.
So this kitchen, when we started, was kind of along the same footprint of what you're seeing today. The client liked the way that they were using the space. They liked where the sink was. They liked where they were cooking. They liked the concept of the island. So we wanted to make sure that we kind of kept the footprint, but everything was builder grade in here. So they really they've lived here for a long time. They wanted to zhuzh everything up and make it reflect their lifestyle today.
So when you're designing a kitchen and you meet a homeowner like this, now this is a full family. They got husband, wife, kids.
Yep.
And so they're using this kitchen.
They're using it.
Getting mileage on it.
They're getting mileage.
And you said it was a builder grade. So this is now the time where our homeowners had the house for a while.
Yep.
It's time to upgrade it.
It's time to upgrade.
Are there little things that you're adding to this kitchen that, because they have children, for quick snacks and accessibility? Give me some of the highlights of this kitchen.
So this is part of the reason this project started, was because the kids going off to college. So it's like, now I have some space for me. And so our clients were really looking for quality. They were looking for just more of an elevated look, getting away from, like I said, builder grade finishes. We're gonna have porcelain countertops in here, porcelain backsplash. We've got a lot of cool little details when we talk about, our soft close cabinetry, and we've got some rounded, you can see the rounded nature of the cabinetry there. So we've got a lot of details that we think elevate the space to fit their lifestyle today.
Makes perfect sense. When you're designing the cabinets for the homeowner, or the whole layout of the kitchen, how much time do you spend with a homeowner? I mean, obviously they come to your office, you use computer designs. Do you get down to the point, like, if they're right-handed or left-handed, where the dishwasher goes? If
100%.
Yeah. So you ask all those questions.
100%. So we typically, for an initial appointment with a client, we'll give them kind of a worksheet so they can go through and select based off of things that they want to see in the space. We definitely want a pots and pans cabinet. We definitely want a spice pull-out. We definitely want a warming rack or an ice maker, or all these little details that they want to see in the space. And then we start pulling the design together with the details that they know are musts, some are wants, and some are not really important details, right?
So you prioritize
exactly.
That makes perfect sense. So I see, as this kitchen, obviously, it's not functional right now.
Correct.
And as a homeowner, when you see something like this, or when you're planning a kitchen, is it safe to say that the homeowner should be planning on eating out more?
You should be planning on eating out more. You should be planning on cooking outside. You should be planning, if you have another, luckily this homeowner is blessed to have a basement and another kitchen downstairs to be able to work. But a lot of clients don't. So you have to kind of plan, summertime may be a great time to get remodels done where you could barbecue outside and things like that to kind of conserve. But yeah, your restaurant bill for a couple months is going to go up.
So that's, I guess you should, part of the budget, folks, is knowing that you're going to be eating out more.
Yeah.
DoorDash is probably loving this.
DD.
Right?
That's right.
So when you prepare a homeowner for a job like this, as we know, look, it's invading their lifestyle, their comfort zone. Mm-hmm. How much preparation do you need to tell them to make sure that they know, like, the contractors are going this way, we're protecting the floors? It's a construction site.
Yes.
They're still running their life. They're still coming home from work, living their lives, but they wake up to this.
Yeah.
Obviously, in a kitchen, what is about 3-4 months?
Yeah, it's a good amount of time, especially with what we have going on here. It's 3-4, maybe rolling into 5.
If not more,
if
sometimes.
not more, when we're talking about finishing details and punch list items. So it is a lot to prepare for. I don't think any client is really prepared until they get into it.
Right.
But our job is to try to help them, especially when we're working throughout the house, just trying to phase things in. If we could stay out of one area until we need it, then we'll kind of, matriculate the project through the house as needed. But we also have garage space that we're taking up, so clients have to park in the driveway, and it's just things that you don't necessarily think about until you get in the middle of it and you're like, it's snowing and I'm parking in the driveway. It's like, yeah, we got to keep our tools and things like that in the garage. So just little things to keep in mind.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
In fact, another tip for homeowners: when you're planning a project, and understand that you live in your house, you come home, it's called your comfort zone. Mm-hmm. This is a project right now that I'm visually looking at, is prepared, is got traffic flow, is protecting the house, but it's an invasion of the homeowner's comfort zone.
100%.
You need to be prepared for that mentally and every other way. So kudos to you for protecting the house like this and seeing how it is. I'm excited to see when it's all done, and we'll get the before and after pictures, which are great. So how often do you communicate with the homeowner during a process like this? Is it daily, weekly, or is it depending on the homeowner's needs?
For our clients, every client gets a weekly update. So they get a recap of what we did last week, what we intend to do next week, and kind of where we think we are, some things to expect. A lot of clients work from home. Our clients here, they work from home a few days out of the week. And so if we're going to be doing electrical and internet's going to be down, we want to try to give them a heads up. If we've got plumbing that's going on and water's going to be off, we want to give them a heads up. So we try to keep them abreast of some of those things, but it's still always a circus depending on.
But that's okay. And again, we always say at Hire Done, and Veronica is really good at this. The key nucleus of successful home improvement is communication. So when you communicate with your homeowners on a regular basis, they always know what's going on. Even if you say to them, hey, we got nobody coming for the next few days, it's okay.
Yeah.
So they know, and sometimes they're relieved. They're like, oh, good. I can catch my breath for a minute.
Yeah.
However, there's also times in the beginning of this interview where Veronica said, we might as well. This job has evolved. How important is it to communicate with homeowners when they keep adding things, or they say, hey, you know what? I want to do this, but let's do the other side of this as well.
Right.
The timeline.
The timeline is something that is very important to communicate. It's probably the number one question that we get, because there's so many horror stories throughout the neighborhoods and construction.
Always.
It's like, oh, these people, they're going to take forever. It's like, yeah, we're thinking this could be 12 weeks. We're thinking this could be 15 weeks. We're thinking this could be whatever. But odds are it's probably going to be more because naturally people they add things to the project, or there's material that gets delayed. There's a problem. There's always things that come up. So for me, I think it's always important just to have a firm that can handle the problems and a firm that can deal with the things that come up and try to see them ahead of time, So
what she just said was so crucial that I want to reiterate that again. Finding a firm that can solve those problems, we call it solution-minded on Hire It Done. And this is why Veronica Simmons is such a great contractor, is because she'll solve the problems as they come up. When homeowners add things, they're like, oh, it's just a little thing. Well, they don't realize the domino effect of that. And is it right for me to even say that?
Correct, 100%. This fireplace here is a perfect example of something that we had to problem solve. We weren't going to do the fireplace when we started the project. And then kind of after everything was sold, the client says, okay, I think I want to do the fireplace. So that the way the fireplace is focused around both sides of the kitchen and the family room, we had to troubleshoot what we were going to do with the floor because the ledger stone is going to come all the way down to the ground. We didn't want it coming from wood to carpet. Right. So we ended up coming up with this really cool inset design, but that took a lot of thought and thinking, and we were going back and forth trying to figure out the best solution. So it takes time on design and time on actual implementation.
So here we are up the new master bathroom, which is another add-on to the bigger project. Yeah. And so that's one of those situations where we've talked about earlier, we might as well. In this situation, because this homeowner knew they had an A-plus contractor, that they said, you know what, while you're here, the dust and everything's already here, let's get it going and let's do the master bathroom. So Veronica, explain to the viewers exactly what we did in here.
Sure. So while downstairs, in the kitchen, the footprint really remained the same. Up here, the clients really wanted everything to change. So what we're looking at a vanity where a shower was. We used to have a jetted tub over in the corner over here that now is part of a massive shower, wet room kind of combination. We've extended the vanity. We've got massive glass coming in here. So there's a lot of really cool features that this really wants to be a sanctuary for our clients. And that's what a lot of people are asking for is spa, sanctuary. I want zen, I want hospitality. I want it to feel like when I come home, I can relax.
You know, interesting comment you just made, and I'm going to refer back to a recent podcast that you and I were on. And you have homeowners who travel. They go to a beautiful bougie hotel, and then they come home to their old bathroom. Yeah. Why not make the spa environment? Yeah. Why not have it done to the way you want it?
Exactly.
And you have the luxury to do that, and they have you to bring it to life.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to see how this is going to be finished.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great. We've got quartzite bench. We've got quartz countertops coming in, glass tile, tile that extends all the way through the wall. We've got body sprays in the tower. It's going to be fun. Even the ceiling detail, I noticed, and the way the floor's tiled, everything here is intermeshed. Yeah. And it works. It's got a great flow. Yeah, it'll be a fun space. I can't wait for you to see it. So Veronica, on a full master bathroom remodel, and this had a different design, it had a different layout, you gutted this to the studs and you're starting fresh with a brand new design. What can a homeowner expect in a timeline? Like how long should a job like this take, assuming, and here's the assumption, they know how to make the decisions. Sure. Forget about delays in product, but what are we talking timeline-wise? So we think at a minimum, this is a 12-week project, right? So as soon as you have permits, we have to have different trades come in and do all this different work. And so we're looking at, I always tell people, you're probably looking at 10 to 20 people that are going to be in your house that need to come together to pull this project off, right? So that's something to consider for cost. You know, when people say, why does it cost so much? Well, it's 20 people that are here that all have to get here, that have to get supplies, that have to do their work, lots of different crews. And you want the right people doing the right thing. You want the right electrician, you want the right plumber, you want the right mechanical, you need the right framer, you know, so, and then we got to get drywall and paint and all the whole shebang. So there's rough work, finished work, usually in rough work for 6 weeks or so, trying to get everything ready to close everything up and look right. And then we're moving into making it look pretty. And for anyone out there to see like the way the house is being protected, again, back to the zipper walls and things like that, all of that comes part of the process in getting the house protected. Now, with the timeline, it makes perfect sense. And I don't remember if you told me this or not, but you don't have x-ray vision. We don't. So when you're doing demo, and there could be rotted plywood, rotted wood from a leaky pipe at one point, you can't just cover that up. You have to reframe it, you have to fix it, you have to get rid of the mold or whatever's there.
homeowners need to get prepared for that.
Yeah, they have to. So we typically, after demo, we allot a week for demo, even though every space doesn't require a week.
Sure.
We try to allot a week, and then we allot, what's unique for us is we allot a week for discovery. So that is like, yo, the space is open now. We have all these grand plans. Can we actually do them? Or what surprises have come up that we need to make the homeowner aware of? In this bathroom, there was a vent where we wanted to put a window, so we had to make some adjustments there. Again, all solvable, but we don't know what's back there until we actually get everything opened up. So we try to allot for that time.
And is it safe to say for homeowners when like a vent shows up that you didn't realize or something that you didn't plan on, that interrupts the rhythm of the work?
Yes.
Which then equals a delay in the project.
Yes. Unfortunately.
As hard as it is, it's still a relevant situation.
Yeah, it's the reality of it, right? And so it's just, the plumber's already scheduled, but you want to make sure that the adjustment doesn't hurt anything else. So we have to actually plan. It's not just, oh, there's a vent, move it. It's like, where are we going to move it? Will that interrupt anything else that we're doing? How does that fit into the mix of what's happening with electrical and all of these things? So it's not complicated. It just takes time.
And again, to reflect on this, it's the communication between the homeowner and the contractor. And this is where Veronica and her team excel. The reason why I'm saying that is because when you meet with a homeowner and you explain to them what's going on, and then ahead of time you say, hey, we're going to communicate weekly, daily, and you're going to learn what we did last week, what we're doing this week, and what we intend to do next week, that is where homeowners don't realize the extra value, because a lot of times contractors will get the job started and not call the homeowner. Guys show up unannounced. They're like, what's going on here?
Right.
In your situation, and this is what we look for, is the professional benchmark contractor.
Yeah, we really try to work hard. It's part of a job that's beyond the construction.
Right.
It's the people.
It has to be.
You have to really go the extra mile to make sure your clientele is happy, and they won't always be happy. I tell people, you're probably gonna, week 3, week 4, I'm bubbly and blah, 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 and you're probably gonna like, get out of my face type deal, but you'll get happy again. Once the cabinets come in, our clients, good morning,
Yeah,
very happy again. So you want to try to get stuff as quickly as you can.
And that's the other key. Again, back to what we said earlier, the comfort zone's invaded. Dust and water always win. However, when you have a partner and you have a contractor that you trust, that's looking out for your best interest and truly cares about the end results here. And by the way, this customer, like we said before, this is a repeat customer.
Exactly.
That's a testament to that. And they obviously they like home improvement. Yeah. So Veronica, in this bathroom, which by the way is fantastic, I cannot wait to see the finished product. It looks like to me we're about midway through.
Yeah.
So what is your timeline for completion on this?
So we hope for this client to be functional in probably 4 weeks. So we're in finish phase, right? So projects have rough work, then we start making things look pretty in finish work. So cabinetry's in, we're in kind of a little bit of a waiting zone, as countertops get templated and as we're finishing tile. I think sometimes it's important for homeowners to understand certain things depend on one thing, depends on the next, depends on the next, depends on the next.
Order of operations.
Exactly.
Yes.
So it does feel like as we get to finish work sometimes that things are moving a little bit slower, but it's like we can't do this until this happens. So I can't get this glass measured until the tile gets up on the wall, and I can't get the tile up on the wall until we finish the, this, that, and the other. So it's each step sometimes takes a little bit longer than what people think, but I'm hoping that this client can get functional in about 4 weeks or so, 4 or 5 weeks.
Let me ask you a question. I noticed when we walked in earlier, a lot of green stickers from the city.
Yeah.
How impactful are the inspectors who come and inspect the work? Obviously, it's another set of eyes for the homeowner, but sometimes inspectors come in and they'll not approve something that has nothing to do with the project.
Right, yeah.
And do you prepare the homeowners for that as well?
Yeah, we try to. You try to develop relationships with inspectors and try to, communicate. I'm always on the phone ahead of inspection trying to say, hey, we're doing this. What do you want to see? What are you going to be looking for, so I can make sure it's done that way? Every city, it's supposed to be like everybody's the same, but they're not. Every inspector's a little bit different, and so you want to make sure you're doing the project according to their specs. But green stickers are always good. But even when you don't pass inspection, like you said, it's not because there's something major that's wrong. It may be a little detail that this city wants to see that the last project they didn't. So we fix it and move on.
Yeah. In fact, when it's not approved, it's not always a reflection of the contractor.
No.
And I can tell you that from decades of experience. But in this situation here, just so for homeowners get the timeline, they get a better feel for what things cost, how long it takes, and what it is like to deal with a professional.
But Adam, you saw all green stickers.
I did.
That's right. No red, baby.
I am thoroughly impressed. This is a great job. And for anybody out there who's thinking about doing a renovation job, whether it's a kitchen, a bath, flooring, trim, doors, any kind of update to your home, and you want it done right, you need a professional, give a call to Veronica and her team.
Please.
The link is at the bio below. Visit Hire It Done, you'll see them as well. Veronica, thank you for this great tour.
Yeah. I can't wait for you to see it done. It's going to be beautiful.
Well, we'll have pictures of the finished project as well on the Hire It Done website.